What's up, guys? I wanted to talk to you guys about my offense and how it's changed over the past couple years. So, I've been playing basketball casually for about 15 years and working on my handle a lot within the past couple of years. And it has changed quite a bit. I ran into problems that I didn't expect. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about how it's changed and how I overcame certain things when working on my game. So, the first thing that I ran into after being super excited, I knew like eight or nine, 10 moves to start with. I hadn't been playing a lot, so I tried to like get prepared for my next game and, use a good amount of moves when I hadn't really ever applied any moves to my game at all. So I had like 10 or so that I really liked and I thought I could do really well. So I was having a really hard time remembering them in the games, and that was really disappointing. I was like, I'd spent all this time. I was excited to be trying to do this new stuff, and I wasn't remembering them on the court. I was like blanking and just getting nervous. So I basically, to start out, trimmed my move list down to like three moves. And at the time, I had a pretty good high level of ball control, and it really helped. I wasn't doing as much as I wanted to, but I was at least remembering these three or four moves, and I'd get a reaction every once in a while. Um, so that helped a lot, and basically once I was able to get over that and remember, the moves that I wanted to initially, I began to be able to add more to my favorite things. And then when I knew probably like 30 or 40 moves, it was getting overwhelming again. So I started making lists, and that really helped as well. That was like the next step. But what I didn't understand getting past like, or getting to a level of like that many moves, was there was multiple levels of difficulty using the moves. So like learning it was the first part, and I thought, the work was done once you knew the move. You were just good. But there's also applying the moves in a game, in front of people, because they're avidly trying to steal the ball from you. And so there's this whole level of like nervousness that I didn't anticipate, and like just inability to perform certain moves that I expected wouldn't be a problem. And so then there was, once I got comfortable using the moves in games, then there was being effective with the moves. That's a whole different level of difficulty. Like even if you're pulling the stuff off in a game, are you scoring with it? So yeah, that was extremely difficult and something I struggled getting better at. And then this is like the fourth level of difficulty, is using a bunch of moves in games and being effective with them. Like, it's tough. Just keeping it all and just sorted in your mind, it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. So I did had to slowly get used to that, find the moves I liked, and once I was working with quite a few moves, organizing them into lists is what really helped for me. I need to know exactly what my favorite moves are, what I'm going to be using in games, how effective I'm going to be, and stuff like that. So yeah, the lists helped. I had like an effective move list with a flashy move list. I really like to use flashy moves starting out because that's kind of what I started learning on. I probably skipped a few steps there and was trying to attempt like 4 or 5 step trick dribbles, early on. And I got less interested in using flashy moves in games and more concerned with games that were effective and I was scoring points with. So, my first couple lists were like, fakes, combos, flashy moves, or whatever. And that evolved, and I changed what kinds of lists I was using. Now I'm basically working with like a set of 10 moves or so for my core offense, and they're mostly like drive moves. And then I'm working with like 6 fakes and probably 11 combos and then 3 combo pieces. Um, so yeah, the lists I'm working with now are my favorite. So, my favorite yet, and I have to have my lists like exactly like I like them, and I change them constantly. I might change them like 3 times a week, and that gets really annoying. But don't get discouraged by that either. If you're trying to improve your game and throwing out new stuff and trying to learn and apply new things, you're going to be changing what you use constantly. Don't get discouraged in games if what you want to use isn't working, because it will probably take time. And that's just something it takes to get better with moves, is getting the ball stolen and having the move fail over and over. That just takes a level of patience, because it's going to be frustrating, and like that's just going to happen. But so I'm working with probably 30 moves right now, and yeah, it's my favorite offense so far. And I don't limit myself to the 30 moves. I mean, I might know 70, 80 moves, and I'll go outside the basic stuff that I do every once in a while and use something unexpected just to, you know, keep my defenders guessing. So, but yeah, it did take a while. So I've been practicing for a couple years now, and it takes a minute, but I've seen tremendous improvement. I would suggest you guys practice every chance you get, and yeah, for any beginning ball handlers out there, if you're having trouble remembering moves, just limit the number of moves you're trying to do, because it's going to take a while to get used to using the stuff you like on the court. So just trim down what you're trying to do until you get a little bit better, and then you can start adding things from there. So that's pretty much it. And thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe for more basketball content, and have a good one.